Alright guys, what is up? It's Andrew Murray here, and I am really excited today because I'm going to lead you through a BNB miner that I really like. And one of the reasons that I like this is because it just got audited. So I looked at the contract, I looked at everything, but it's also had that professional seal of approval from an audit perspective. And this is new, guys, so you do want to get in on this. I will put my referral link in the bottom of the description. So if you want to give me a little kickback when you get started, that would be great. Now, I like that these are audited because, you know, there are nefarious things that are going on in DeFi. So just, you know, full disclosure, and because this is audited, and because I've looked at the code, this is something you can feel safe in investing in. And what I like about it is you're gonna compound your BNB, and with BNB being so low right now, this is really probably my #1 alternative blockchain to Bitcoin, because of how fast it is, and it is used in a lot of things. So I think when the market recovers, BNB is definitely going to be one that you're going to want to take advantage of. So while the price is artificially low because of this crypto winter, this would be a great time to get invited or to get started in the Oil.Club and start mining your BNB. So what's the Oil.Club? Well, basically you get a daily 8% return, and you will basically build wells, and then you'll be able to withdraw those funds, okay? And so you can see how that works. So as more people come into this, you can reinvest your profits. There is a locked value in the contract, and we'll get into how all of that works. But first, what I want to do is just show you a little bit about it. So if you go to the About page, you can see they've described their mission, and you can go to the official channel. You can also get to the smart contract and the white paper here. So we'll just look at the smart contract right now, and you can see that the balance right now is 139 BNB, and so that's a value of about 31,000. So this is a good time to get involved with this. You can see the transactions that have been going through, and look at all this. You can look at the code here, but we're gonna have a simpler way to look at the code. Basically what happens is when you invest in one of these BNB miners, you can compound your return, and that's really important because a lot of people don't know how to do this. So we'll look at the white paper here. Basically, it's a smart contract miner that follows the rules of the oil and gas industry. So you'll earn 8%, which can be incentivized by streak bonuses. So if you continue to reinvest, recompound your returns, then it will go higher. So when you cash out, you'll have a streak bonus, so you actually get more. So that's what I'd encourage you to do, is to have a few sessions of compounding before withdrawing. That's how you get the maximum out of this. And so wells are virtual shares of an oil drilling well that used to extract oil and petroleum, and we mine that to the BNB. So this is interesting, the least streak bonus, right? So you have that consecutive days. So if you do it for consecutive days, you will get an extra 5%, okay? So I would definitely do that. There is a referral program as well, and 2% is what the company owners take off of transactions, which is fair. So that's pretty much about that. They do have an FAQ as well, where you can look at some of the questions and look at the roadmap and all of that stuff. So you can easily connect it with a Metamask. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to invest and connect our Metamask, and then invest in this club so we can start compounding. And you can see the 139.87 is what's totally in the contract right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to log into our Metamask. And in this particular Metamask account, we're going to connect. If you have multiple accounts, you can choose which one you want to connect to. And you can see it can suggest the address, account balance, activity, and suggest transactions to approve. So we're going to connect to this 0.3 in here. It's connected to that, so I'm going to put 0.3 into invest. It's going to initiate the transaction. And here it is, a new address connected. And what we're going to do, the gas fee, as you can see, is very, very low. And so that's going to put in to our account there. Okay. So right now that's transacting. If you click on your MetaMask, then you should be able to see, and I've already got this done, but you should be able to see, yes, the contract interaction has gone through, and it says transaction complete. So what you can do is you can reinvest or sell. And so what we talked about is reinvesting. And so when you click reinvest, then it's going to allow you to reinvest those profits. And once some time has come up here, because basically it needs to compound a bit before you can start reinvesting. Okay, so that's how it starts. And then when you come back, like even if I was to come back in half an hour, I should see more in my account here that I can reinvest. And as you can see, this has also gone over to 140, right? So there's more money entering the contract. So what I want to do is check out the audit. This is really important, and because with these miners, it's really important that you stick with ones that are early in their history for the maximum profit, which this is, and also that are audited. Okay, so I'm going to go through the audit report. This was started in June, and you can see here the contract ID, so you can verify that with the contract here, the contract ID, and it is the same. So that's what you want to see. And then you can see the table of contents and go through, and you'll see they've done a really robust here. So they've done 200 runs of this script to go through. And basically this is kind of the summary of the contract. You'll buy oil wells, and you'll be able to reinvest that money. Buy and sell is taxed at 2% for the dev, and that tax amount is moved directly to the owners of the account. So every time someone makes a transaction in this contract, the devs, the creators, are going to make 2%. Okay. And so they break down what these things are called in the actual contract, so you can understand what that is. And this is very important. The contract owner does not disturb the user's experience by any means. So it means they can't access your funds and pull them out. So these are the code here. They look at it, and if there's any medium or critical things, you would want to look at that, particularly critical things. But for this, there is minor risk. Okay. So they talk about each of these, right? So the public function could be declared external, and it tells you where in the contract that is. Public functions that are never called by the contract should be declared external to save gas, and obviously that makes sense as well. Okay, so they'll go through each of these things. So the state variables could be declared constant, conformance to solidity naming conventions, and that's you want to kind of have things named properly, so people can follow if they want to. Unused state variable, divide before multiply. Okay, so it goes into all the different contract functions. So if you were to actually open up this contract here, okay, and I'll just open this in a new tab, and you can find these different contract functions in there, right? So let's say hatch wells, for example, and you'll see that some of them have different permissions, right? So only the owner can renounce the ownership of this project or transfer the ownership of this contract. But if I was to search for, if I was going to go in the contract and search for hatch, then it will find where that is in the code, and you'd be able to look at that, right? So get last hatch outputs and things like that. So other than that, when I look at this, they've really gone through the whole contract, and I wanted to show this because they got the contract flow, so you can see the internal calls, the external calls, the defined contracts, and so it's very clear they've mapped out how everything works in this. They've looked at the domain ownership, It's been created almost 2 years before the audit. It's on Namecheap, that's what I use. So yeah, overall, I think that this is a very good BNB miner if you want to compound your BNB. And again, when you want to think about compounding your BNB is when it is at the weakest, right? So right now BNB is, because of crypto winter, artificially low. So, let's say it's devalued by 10%. If you're doubling your money now while it's at a low amount overall, when the Binance chain comes back to prominence and picks up all that value, as it will being a dominant blockchain, then your profits are also going to be compounded that way. So there's really two ways you can compound your BNB profits. First is by actually using this, and second is compounding it while you're waiting for the price to recover. So I just wanted to clarify something. As you can see, this contract is going up, and this extracted oil has now actually gone up as well, and that's what you're reinvesting. So if I'm just going to refresh here, you'll see it's already at 0.22 now, so it's added a decimal place, and so that's how quickly your BNB starts to compound. This just happens automatically because of the contract. So I look at this as a little bit of passive income. We'll see if it's gone up again, not quite yet. But if I stay here and refresh, if I was to come back in 5 minutes, this would actually go up, which is really quite cool, because a lot of people don't have that ability to generate passive income in their real life. And see, it's already gone up again, so it's up to 23. So you want to come in here at least once a day and click reinvest, and reinvest will load here, and your contract interaction will be with the contract. You can see that's the same contract ID. And there is a little bit of gas fee, but you certainly want to do this because this actually increases what you're going to gain over time. Remember, in the white paper, if you've reinvested a bunch of times, then not only will you make more, but when you withdraw, you'll get a higher rate. And you'll just see the extracted oil has gone down because that contract interaction has happened, right? So that's what you want to do. And it says transaction complete, got a little OK sign. And so you can see that that's going to increase over time. So I hope that clarifies things. And then after you've compounded at least 5 times, then you can click the sell button and you can withdraw what you've earned to your wallet, right? So you always want to look at getting your profits back and getting break even, and letting some of the money ride with house money. So I hope that clarifies things. If it doesn't, let me know in the comments. And yeah, happy mining. So what I want to do is, if you have any questions, you can certainly message me. I'm also going to drop a link to my referral link, and if you use that, I'll get 5%. And I do appreciate that, for kind of going through and giving you some advice. If you do want to reach out personally, have questions about this, I'd be more than happy to answer that. Just get in touch with me through the description below, and find this link in the description so you can get started in the Oil.Club and start compounding your BNB. All right, well, that's all I got for you. This is one that I'm definitely investing in and recommending myself. And if you want to get started, use the link in the description. All right, we'll talk to you next week.